Hello again. I have another pair of Bibles to share today, also thrift store finds, and I'll try to keep this video short to make up for the last video, which was extremely long. I apologize for that to anyone who watched that. Okay, so what we have here are two very tiny New Testaments. I got these at my local thrift. As you see, I paid 50 cents for each of them. When I found them at the thrift, there was a third in red, and I'm kind of kicking myself now because I didn't pick that one up also. And when I went back to the thrift a week later or so, it was gone. So I have the black and the white version. I'm going to go ahead and claim ownership by peeling off the stickers. Just wanted to show proof that that is indeed what I paid for them. So New Testament, these ones do not have Proverbs or Psalms as the Gideon Bibles do, that are similarly sized. But just look at how they designed this. It's got the gold foil. I mean, it's huge print for such a tiny Bible. It's got gold gilt edging on there, and it's got a ribbon. I have never seen anything like that. It's in the King James. This is just some kind of board that's coated, and you can see it's seen some wear. I thought these must be kind of old. When I picked them up, I thought, oh, these must be old. I couldn't find a date anywhere in them at first. It took some digging. Let's see, it's red letter even, this tiny Bible. Didn't see a date in there until the very back. I believe there's a date and an ISBN number. Yeah, 2011. It's so tiny you probably can't see that. 2011, printed in China, of course. D&H Brothers Industries Ltd. And there's an ISBN number. And I looked up that number, and you can still order these through Amazon, and I think they're anywhere between $6 and $15. I think the latest I saw was like $6 or $7 the last time I looked. So if you're interested in one of these, you can get it for that tiny amount of money. Not 50 cents like I paid, but for a few bucks you can have one of these. The print is so tiny that I'm glad I just got my new bifocals, because it is pretty small. Let me grab a pencil here. It's in centimeters. Wow, that is some tiny type in that book. I don't know what size that font is, but it is tiny. The book itself, if you're curious, looks like it's about 11 centimeters by 7.5 centimeters. So if you're traveling with this outside the U.S., you'll know it's 11 by 7 centimeters. If you're traveling in the U.S., it's still that same size, but that doesn't really mean anything to you. So not sure why I shared that. The white one is exactly the same. The gold gilt edging all the way around. This one has a white ribbon, and again, red letter edition. These don't seem to have gotten much use. Oh, wait, is this one red letter? I didn't look. It is. Okay, good. So just curious little Bibles, just for comparison. Sorry, I'm not centering that very well. By way of comparison, the Gideon Bible, kind of the standard classic Gideon, It's actually maybe a little bit bigger, a little taller at least, than this Bible. And the Gideon, of course, has Psalms and Proverbs with it. I think I'd mentioned before that I took my little Book of Common Prayer with me on a backpacking trip. And I didn't want to bring a full-size Bible with me, and I ended up bringing a Gideon Bible that I ended up covering in this kind of black Gorilla tape to make it a little more durable. It's just a regular Gideon Bible. This is an English Standard version, which was my preferred version at that time. So I took this with me to do the readings while I was backpacking, but this, of course, is just the New Testament and Psalms and Proverbs. So I basically just for that 10-day period skipped the Old Testament portion of the morning and evening prayer. But I found something recently. Actually, I bought this a little while back at the thrift store, and I didn't realize that I had this. Here's a little Bible that is of curious design also. Slightly bigger than these modern Chinese miniature Bibles, but this one I failed to realize, well, it has a neat little zipper, but I failed to realize that it's the entire Bible. It's the Old Testament and New in painfully tiny print. Also red letter, look at that. But that would have been really handy to take with me. And I think I'm going to keep this. I don't know what I'll do with it. Somebody's name is on the front, but I can take care of that. It's got this fake leather cover. I don't know when this one was printed. It was given as a gift in '93, it looks like, to someone. So probably printed a little before that. Manufactured in Belgium. World Bible Publishers. How about that? This was a neat little thing. I didn't realize I had this and that it was the entire Bible. I just thought it was another testament. So, yay me. That's kind of cool. Has a zipper around it. Yeah, that one I'm going to keep. Not sure what I'm going to do with these two yet. Might keep one of them, and one might end up in a little free library or something like that. Just by way of comparison, I'm going to have another New Testament. I'll just compare sizes. I bought this one also for 50 cents at my local thrift. And just compare the size. You can see the blue one's a little bit bigger. Of course, I'm joking, but this is a recent acquisition from my local thrift. I also paid 50 cents. This is the Christianity Today edition of a parallel Bible with 4 versions. I picked this up. I usually don't really like parallel Bibles. I don't find them all that useful. But this one first had 2 versions that are my favorites, probably King James and Revised Standard. And then 2 versions that I do not have. I have many versions of the Bible. I do not have a Phillips Modern or the New English Bible, but I do now. New Testament only, of course. But got some notes in there. The person who owned this before me did not heed good advice and write in pencil, and there are underlinings and notes in ink, which I can deal with. But really happy to have these 2 translations that I did not have before. Really wanted the Phillips, primarily because something else I just picked up recently at my local thrift, which I have very close by. And the local thrift had the whole set of these. I think there are between 20 and 25 volumes in this set. Herbert Lockyer, all the blank, blank, blank. The series is called. All of the something in the Bible. I don't know what the generic name for the series is, but all the books have titles like all of the something of the Bible. This one caught my eye, all the Messianic prophecies of the Bible. So that was the first one I purchased. I did go back and pick up a few more of those volumes that maybe I'll review. This one I'm reading through, maybe a quarter of the way through it now. Review this one later, but anyway, what I was getting at, this volume uses the Phillips translation, which I had not heard of, and so was happy that the Phillips translation is in this parallel Bible. So another yay me, 50 cents for that, and it's in pretty good shape. I think published in the 60s. But so this was really about these two fine little teeny tiny Bibles that are just like big Bibles, only tiny. And I just thought that was so funny. I had to have them. So hope you enjoyed this. I'll maybe review a couple of the things I just showed there at the end later on. But thanks for stopping in.